So welcome. We're here with Annette Scott. She's a certified oncology esthetician. I'm going to let her introduce herself and explain what she's here and what she's doing for us today. But we are so grateful for you for volunteering today and for being able to record this format so that we can share it with patients all over the country and wherever they find us from. So we're really grateful to you. We could not put on wellness events like this without our volunteers. And we're really glad to be able to kind of navigate our new world and share the platform this way. So welcome, Annette. Welcome to all of our attendees. Thank you so much. When you attend events like this, you're directly supporting cancer patient initiatives. So we're so grateful to you. So thank you for participating and welcome.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank you to the whole crew for this platform. It means a lot to me because like I said, I haven't been working for a while, and I really miss it. I really miss that hands-on touch that I get with the patients. My name is Annette Scott, and I am an oncology trained esthetician. I've been an esthetician for 33 years. I've worked with the skin and absolutely loved it. But about 9 years ago, I started a program called Reflections at Celilo Cancer Center in the Dallas, Oregon. I work and live in the beautiful Columbia Gorge, and about 16 years ago, I volunteered at a little celebration, like a survivorship celebration called Hats Off to You at the Cancer Center. And they wanted me to do manicures, and I wanted to do makeup. And I go in there in this beautiful center, and the first thing I do is touch a patient's hand, and she just melted into mine. And I knew right there at that moment that I wanted to be there in some capacity, so I kept working at it, and then I developed a program. It's called Reflections. It deals with skincare, image, and so much more. Like I said, the power of touch is an incredible thing, and so I've been able to support these patients at the Cancer Center. I spend about 2 hours with them. I soak their feet. I have a hefty intake, so I know what kind of medications they're taking, what skin issues they're having, and I'm just their support. I fit them with hats, wigs, and scarves. I give them makeup. I spend about an hour just working on their skin. It's been an incredible program, and I've learned so much in the past 9 years that I eventually became an educator for other estheticians to learn how to work with cancer clients. And I work for a company called Oncology Spa Solutions, and we have searched the world on the best type of skincare and skin treatments for the cancer client. So it's been an incredible journey, and it's a great honor to be able to service this population who really needs it the most, I believe. This right here is my wig room. That we have a little wig and hat room. And so we do hair care there, and there we will fit the client with hats that were donated from Pistol Hats and other companies, and I'll teach them how to tie a scarf. And we have wigs that they get for free, at least one wig. And you know, it's such a personal journey, and losing your hair is a big deal, as some of you might know, and we wanted a place where people could come and get advice and learn these things. So I'll give you a couple little tips for those who might be going through cancer treatment and not knowing what to expect. Yeah, a lot of women who go through breast cancer treatment um, will lose their hair if they're having a certain type of chemo, and they just don't know what to expect. So um, they will usually lose their hair within about exactly 2 weeks after their first chemotherapy. And so getting prepared for that is an important thing. So you know what to do. I wrote down shaving because a lot of women will shave their head. It's important that you leave about 1/4 of an inch. Don't shave your head bald. A lot of people will make that mistake. They'll have a shaving party and the husband will get out the clippers and just shave it all right off. Well, that is exposing your hair follicles and can cause rashes. Think of the first time you shaved your legs, it's kind of like that. So you want to leave a little bit of hair. And if you don't know what to do or where to go, it's such a personal thing, shaving your head, and it's emotional. And having a support team is really a good idea, but some people want to do it privately, and so you can always call your hairdresser or a reputable salon and ask them if you could have a private room or come in after hours to have your head shaved. Ask if you can bring support. If you don't want, a friend or your family member to shave your head, you always have that option. And most every hairdresser knows what to do, and they are honored to be able to do that for you. So your head might be tender for the first couple weeks after, or even longer after you lose your hair. I've heard things like, I could hear my hair falling out, or, it's just cold and the wind was irritating my skin. Those follicles are wide open and for the first time since you were a baby. So it's a good idea to wear a nice soft cap. There's lots of resources out there on how to tie scarves for cancer clients. You can go on the internet. You could go on the American Cancer Society website, and they have this t-shirt turban, little thing that, you just cut off an extra large men's t-shirt, and they'll teach you how to tie it around your head. That's one thing you could do. But always protect your head with a hat or a scarf. And in the winter months, it gets cold really easily. So some of the things you can do, I'm talking really fast because I have a lot of content, so hopefully I'm not talking too fast for you, but I have a book. It's called Wig Ed. It was written by my friend Gina Doyle. You can get it on Amazon. She wrote this book because she had a program like mine and realized that there's not that much information out there on how to choose a wig, what to do with your head, how to care for it, and what looks good and what doesn't look good, and how to properly fit a wig if that's your taste. I mean, if that's the thing that you would like to do. But definitely be your own kind of beautiful. Be you, or if you proudly wear your bald head if that's what calls to you. Everybody goes through this journey in a different way, and there's no right way, there's no wrong way. Some people don't want anybody to know that they have cancer, so they'll get a wig that looks just like their hair. You can do things like have your hair cut off and somebody can sew that hair into a hat. There's resources like that. You might want to try a new hair color or style. This is the time to be fun and bold, or maybe just wear a hat, those big, lovely hats. I am a hat person, so bringing back hats is always my thing. Um, uh, Also, when you care for your head, make sure that you're not using oils or lotions on the top of your head. It's not used to it, and the follicles will get clogged. So make sure you just use a very mild uh, shampoo, like with no sulfates. A baby shampoo would be great. So these are some of the things that I teach at the Cancer Center, and I want to pass these teachings on to you. So I'll give you some resources at the end of the presentation. So that's the head. Does anybody have questions for me about wigs or hats or scarves? Okay, I'll move on. So let's talk about skincare. Um, so one of the biggest complaints that most people have with their skin is dry, flaky skin, especially if you're going through chemotherapy. Almost everyone has that complaint. Dry, flaky skin. Think of your skin as a fast-growing cell and an organ. So chemotherapy attacks a fast-growing cell. So your skin is working overtime, and it will build up. You'll get rashes because one of its functions is to get rid of toxins, and chemo is a toxin. So you might get little bumps. A lot of people think they're getting acne, and they're not. That's not an acne. It is a reaction to the chemo, and it's really important not to pop pimples. It can cause infection. So you definitely want to be gentle on your skin. I recommend using an oil cleanse as opposed to a lot of harsh soaps or cleansers. Oil cleansing, you can Google that. There's lots of tutorials on it on YouTube. Here are some oils that I recommend: sweet almond, grapeseed. A lot of avocado. Sesame is highly emollient and moisturizing. So if you have super dry, sesame oil is good. All your oils, should be cold pressed. I like to mix just a little bit of castor oil in with your carrier oils or your emollient oils, because castor oil is antibacterial, and it pulls out toxins from your skin. So I have a question here. It says, can you tell us things to avoid for the skincare? Yes, there are a lot of skincare products out there. It's a multi-million-dollar business, and there are a lot of carcinogens, and I'll talk to you about that in just a minute. Down there, I got a section on using clean ingredients, so I'll go into. I'd like to talk a little bit about radiation and what happens with radiation. Some people call it radiation burns. We like to say radiation dermatitis. But a lot of people, if you're going in getting radiation for 28 days every day, sometimes you can get radiation dermatitis. I wrote down calendula oil. Calendula oil is a fabulous oil for protecting the skin from burns. I like it better than aloe even. And there's a good resource on here for calendula oil. So you can put it on right after your radiation. You could put it on several times a day. You could use it as an oil or a salve. Oh yeah, that's great, Katie, that you use calendula oil in your salve. That's awesome. Um, you can use it as many times as you want while you're having radiation. You just want to make sure that your skin is clean and dry within 4 hours of your radiation. So it's not affecting the radiation field. But as soon as you're done, you can put that calendula oil on. And again, it should be clean, cold pressed. You should know where your calendula is coming from. Like I'm sure you've heard this weekend about products being clean and well sourced, and the company that I have written down here is one of those companies. So Bodyceuticals, they are a fabulous company, and they grow their own calendula and they process it right there. So that's one thing that you can do for radiation. Then let's talk a little bit about scarring, because a lot of women will get breast augmentations or have surgery and they'll have scars. So Tamanu oil, it is an oil that comes from a seed of a nut. So some people have nut allergies, but most people are not allergic to Tamanu oil. Tamanu oil will lay that scar flat. An old scar, a new scar, any scar, it will lay it flat. It'll keep it from keloiding. It's amazing stuff. I've had plenty of trials with it, and I cannot believe how well it works. But what you do is you put a little bit of the Tamanu oil on your finger, and I like to use the ring finger, and then just crisscross it back and forth over the scar like that. So not a ton of pressure, but you want to do that daily, and maybe even a couple times a day. Nighttime is the best time to do that because your skin heals itself at night. Tamanu oil for scars, calendula oil for radiation burns. I got several oils there for cleansing. I don't know, I didn't see the Ayurvedic video, but there's an Ayurvedic way of cleansing called Abhyanga that is really good for moving the lymph around and cleaning out your lymph system, and also cleaning your skin without any harsh soaps. So that's a really good thing to do also. So yes, somebody asked me about clean ingredients. That's the number one for me. I have a list, I call it the Dirty 17, of things that are that you should never have in any care products. I could go over them, but I put a website up there for you. It's called EWG.org, Environmental Working Group. I'm sure a lot of you have already been on it. There's a section called Skin Deep, and you can take your favorite skincare product, like say a lot of women love oil of Olay, and you can take it, the barcode, and put it right up to your phone, and it'll tell you whether or not it has carcinogens in it. There are a lot of carcinogens in our care products. There are phthalates, there are parabens, there are 3,000 compounds that make up a fragrance, and 900 of them are known carcinogens. Think about that for a minute. 900 of them are known carcinogens. And when you see a bottle, even a skincare bottle, it'll just say fragrance on it. You don't know what's in it. Nobody does. There are even some natural products that can be carcinogenic. So really, it's really complicated. And the EWG.org is a good start on being the ingredient detective, which I think is really important. We should know what we're putting on and in our body at all times. So going simple, like just doing the oil cleansing, is always a really good idea. And please, please, please don't forget your sunscreen. Even on these, it's raining today, but even on these cloudy, rainy days, it's really important. I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, but the reality is that once you've had cancer, you're at a much higher risk of getting skin cancer. So super important to wear sunscreen. It should not be a sunscreen with oxybenzone or any of those other chemicals. There's a bunch of them. That deflect the sun underneath your skin. To me, that's carcinogenic. That can cause cancer. A good physical sunscreen with the zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, those are really important ingredients to look for. I put one link down there, Suntegrity. They have a really good one. It's beautiful. They have one, it's like 5-in-1. It's a primer too for those who like to wear makeup. And it smells wonderful. And the woman who developed it, her mother had cancer, and that's the reason why she developed this sunscreen. And now it's a whole skincare line. Tizo is another one, the one I have in the picture. That's another one that's a really good. And that one there is a tinted, and it's just beautiful. So definitely, yes. Does sunscreen feel heavy on your skin? Yes. A good physical block probably will. Now, Tizo did something that I'm not sure how they do it. It's still non-micronized zinc and titanium, but it's not heavy. It's sweat proof. It doesn't leak into your eyes. If you listen to the dermatologists, they say a shot glass of physical sunscreen for your whole body. And that does feel heavy, but the technology has been amazing, and they've gone really far with their making it more wearable. But don't use the spray. Don't use the oxybenzone. Those are not good for you. They're not good for the environment. Wear physical block when you can, like a hat, scarves, UV clothing now. They have that. So there are things that you can do. Stay out of the sun in those hours that are more harmful. That's what I do. I go in the sun after 4. Anyway, so that's some of the things that you can do to protect your skin. There's a lot more. If you're having trouble, I would love it if you contact me, and maybe I can help you. Wow, I went fast. Okay, here's some information for you. My email address, skincarebyas@gmail.com, and then I have a professional skincare by Annette page on Facebook where I put all kinds of tips for you. So definitely want to plug into that. There's new information on there all the time about great products to use. I really want to thank Katie and Kelly and the crew on putting this together. This is amazing platform, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I really enjoyed watching the kiddos do their art projects with you guys. That was so sweet.
That was wonderful.
Oh.
I want to just say both Jenny and I have had the pleasure of having Annette work on our faces. and it was just a magical experience. It was so wonderful, and she's so thoughtful and so caring in that touch. And I think she didn't mention much about her Reiki background, but she's very, very conscious about just bringing the best energy to that. And we both greatly benefited from her expertise in her hands. And so we're so grateful that you came to do this for us today. I asked about the carcinogens because I know well, it got me thinking about, actually, before I got cancer years ago, I had listened to a podcast about something. It was like, oh, the skin is the biggest, organ that you have, and what we put on our hair and on our face and on our bodies really, really matters. And it really got me thinking about those sorts of things. And so I don't know if we got into how to do the oil.
Oh, yes, I can talk about that.
Be kind of nice, because I thought, what a nice, simple, natural way to, sort of refresh the skin. And
Right, I'll be more than happy to do that. I want to answer this question too. Do you think that the cold packs work for hair loss and also for neuropathy? Yeah. So the cold packs, there is a chiro cap that people have used at the cancer center, and I got to see how that worked. The chiro cap is very expensive. I think you can even rent them though. And you're sitting there with this ice cold cap on your head the whole time you're doing chemotherapy. So think about that. Think about ice cream headache times 8 hours or however long you're in chemo. It's not fun. I'll tell you that. And there's no guarantee that you won't lose your hair. So it might work, and I saw where it did, and that was great. But the quality, their hair was not as great as it could be, and I don't know, sometimes it's just inevitable that you're going to lose your hair. So neuropathy, I'm not. So about neuropathy, what's really important while you're going through chemotherapy is to not put heat or friction on your extremities, your hands and your feet. The cold, I don't know if that will keep the chemo from pooling in that area, which is what causes the nerve damage of neuropathy. There's no evidence that I've heard of that the cold will stop the neuropathy. And sometimes the neuropathy will stay a while after chemo, and sometimes it'll go away. There's just, everybody is so different. So it's hard to tell whether the cold packs will work on neuropathy. About the oil cleansing. So if you Google oil cleansing, you'll get lots of things. It is an Ayurvedic practice. And there's some YouTube videos out there on how to do it. But you take about a dime size to a quarter size of your carrier oil. Say you have really dry skin, sesame and avocado are good ones there. And then you put about a pea size of the castor oil in your hand. You mix it a little bit. You don't want to do a lot of friction, but you mix it a little bit. And then you just start giving yourself a really nice massage on your face. And spend time. This is a good time in the evening when this is sort of a ritual that's super nice. That'll help you relax before you go to bed. It'll also move that lymph out of your face for those who get swollen. And it will pull the toxins out of your skin. And then you just take a warm, not hot washcloth, and you put that on your face. And you don't do a lot of rubbing, just dabbing. This is a time to be really gentle with your skin. A lot of people want to rub all that flaky skin off, but you really just want to keep it moisturized, hydrated, and a lot of oils will help to nourish the skin and build up that lipid system. That's what you're looking for, a good lipid system in your skin, so you can fight off whatever damage that's coming your way.
Awesome.
Okay.
I think we almost need to wrap up unless there's
Okay.
any other questions real quick. Just want to check and make sure there isn't any other questions.
Argan oil is a good one for healing. It's not a great carrier oil, so you can mix a little argan in with your carrier oils like your avocado or your sesame, but and it's great for healing the skin and for spot treatments, not so great for doing the whole cleanse.
Recommend anything to help with hair regrowth.
So as soon as you're done with chemo and you're okayed by the doctor, you can use a hair regrowth system. Um, um, Castor oil helps with that too. So you might want to consider using castor oil. Stay away from all the stuff that has a lot of additives. Find something that is more on the natural side. Intelligent nutrients is one. I could talk forever.
This one just said nail regrowth as well. I know my mom struggled with some nail regrowth. Is there something in particular that might help with?
Yeah, well, keeping your nails clean and dry and cut short is really important. Don't use nail products unless you have a special event. Try to stay away with painting your nails. A lot of times with chemo, your nails might fall off, they might lift. Know that that's a temporary thing. Again, oil your cuticles. Sweet almond oil is a good one for that. And just stay as healthy as you can with your
Good.
skincare.
Awesome. Thank you, Annette. Oh my gosh, I know we could ask so many questions. I should have made your session an hour. But what I'll do is I'll make this available online and we'll post that so that everybody has this. And then we'll invite Annette back next year when we do this again for sure. So thank
Yes,
you.
please do.
That
Take
was
care.
fantastic, Annette. Thank you. Hope you join some other classes, everyone.
All right. And in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, our next session starting at 4 o'clock is Q&A with for self-exams for breast care self-exams. So that's going to be really important this month. And we've made that one available free to the public. That one's just one that needs to be, everyone needs to know how to do that. So that's coming up next. Again, thanks everyone for attending, and we'll see you at the next session. Annette, thanks again for all of your support, and we look forward to seeing you maybe in person.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Thanks, Annette.